Always hope. It's just because we live in an abnormal society, which is Nigeria. Abnormal society in the sense that what we are going through in this country, other people are not going through it anywhere else in the world. The pressure to make money is only in Nigeria like this. It's not
Truly.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's abnormal. It's not supposed to be the way it is. A lot of people might think that's the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way it's supposed to be. We're the only ones under the kind of pressure we are in this earth.
Constant survival mode.
And I mean, people that are not even supposed to be under that pressure are under that pressure.
Right.
We're the only ones that are influenced by that too, than anywhere else. That's why sometimes when you live abroad, you just realize that these things are not the way you think it. Life is actually very simple.
Side B begins with IK lamenting the abysmal state of the country and the suffering many experience as a result, which led us to a conversation about meaning and how each of us define it. This is where the guys really showed their emotional intelligence. See if you pick up the nuances they dropped. And no conversation between guys will ever be complete without talking about women and our opinions of them. Whether we are right or wrong, whether we even know, but we just, explore certain things. We talked about what we're looking for in our future spouses and what it will take to make something beautiful occur and last. This is also where it gets really interesting as well, because boy, did we drop some gems, did we reveal some inner vulnerabilities. And unlike side A, which was mostly focused on business, side B is where the boys got comfortable, and from that point it was just flowing. By the way, we were sipping on some Glenfiddich, which, if you're familiar, has a way of getting niggas comfortable. If you ask me, I think side B is my favorite of the two, and I hope you see it too. All in all, it's a wholesome moment which confirms again that boys will not be boys. Oh no. Boys will be men, and men will be gods. While you're here, do subscribe, share with your people, and leave a review. Follow the podcast on IG at The Young God Pod and Twitter at I Am The Young God for exclusive content and updates on future events. My name is Rodney Omalkache, and you're welcome to The Young God.
What is something that people aren't paying enough attention to, but I think they should? Something that people aren't paying enough attention to, but that they should.
I mean, I will let the deep guys answer this.
That's a very interesting question, to be honest.
Something we think that what?
Something people aren't paying enough attention to.
Contentment.
But for me, I would say learning. I would say
Still
learning.
my own. I was going to say that.
I would say learning. To be honest, I think we are conditioned to believe that you can't get any more education than the one you get from schools, just like I mentioned. But there is a world of, I pride myself in being that person that knows something about everything, and it has helped me get ahead in life a lot of times. You don't have to know everything. I know they say, oh, jack of all trades, master of none. Not necessarily. You don't have to know everything. That extra knowledge that you have over somebody else puts you way ahead of them. You can teach that person. You can sell information to that person. You are literally better off just by spending a couple of minutes to a few hours picking up the fundamentals, the core of whatever it is that you find interesting. So learning, I feel a lot of people should take time out to learn something. But you learn about yourself, be self-aware. I think learning comes, once you learn, you start to realize, okay, ask questions. Even when it comes to religion, it's very controversial. Yeah. I ask questions. Now, growing up, I used to be that, person that, okay, so far as it has to be do with the church, I don't want to question it. But I ask myself, if God gave us the ability to think. You have the brain to ask questions. If the questions come, it means you're supposed to ask those questions. Ask them, be inquisitive, inquire. Why is this like this? Can't it be done differently? Why should we conform to what has been put forward to us? We can just challenge the status quo. And you'll be better off because, like for me, my relationship with God now is a lot better because now I know why I should be a certain way, why I should be good to people. Because that is the only requirement, love. You have to show love, you have to be grateful, all of
Everything
this.
is love, bro.
Yeah, everything is, it's all love at the end of the day. But if I didn't ask these questions, all I could feel was fear. If I don't do this, then I'm condemned to eternal damnation. But that is even like not the issue. Like your life has to have meaning. You have to make the world better than you met it.
When you keep coming back to this meaning, meaning is so
It
important.
means a lot to Dre.
Like, if you think of everything you've accomplished and everything you're doing, at the heart of it, you found some level of meaning from it. And if you're able to find meaning from something, you can keep doing it in the long
That's
term.
what that's which is
You know,
what I
yeah.
meant prior.
Yeah,
That's
like
like
it's so
purpose,
underrated.
your
Like
purpose
purpose,
as well.
that's God, man. You find a reason to get up and do what you're meant to do.
And contribute and be a creator. You're created in God's image. It's not because God has extremities, eyes, nose. It's simply because God comes out here and makes the world better.
Makes things happen.
Makes things happen. Create. As a creator, what you're doing now is amazing. I'm excited to be here. So always try to create what he has done with Laguru. The first gentleman's barber shop in Abuja.
Right.
It's wonderful, it's amazing, and I don't think we appreciate it enough, but it has brought something different, and you go there, you look forward to it for real. And the same, which is what we're trying to do as well with Zodara. When we started this brand, it was never about what we could make from it. We realized that people were stressed out. We wanted to create a space where people could go to, felt like a staycation place, yeah, that kind of thing. Vacation away from home, but you're not traveling, you're still within your vicinity. And that is what we still strive to deliver every single time.
Right. Let me bust you guys' head. And why this is, and this just to give you more context as to why this is so important, what we're doing. The core of my listeners are people of various ages. Guy, married or not married or business owners or students or what they all have in common, the one thing I've found, because they always reach out to me to say one or two things. People are looking for how to live. People are looking for a way, an example, a way to make sense of all this nonsense that's going on in a way that they don't lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Right? So whenever we have this conversation, whenever I create these stories and all these things, it's people like you and I and all my guests that in one way or the other we have figured out a way to make sense of all of this.
Yeah.
And now these people who are looking for an example, looking for a way, are hearing it and they're getting uplifted. That is what is happening. That is why I cannot stop. That is why, I'm so particular about, like, in that way, I've found meaning in it.
I have a lot of atheist friends. Or at least I know a lot of people that, and I don't have a problem with that because everybody has a right to believe what you don't want to believe.
Of course.
Do you understand? I mean, it doesn't stop anything. It doesn't make me better than anybody. It doesn't make anybody better than me. But a lot of things in my life, I've seen it directed by God. A lot of things I've gone through. I've been through an accident.
With
That
Nate,
almost
right?
took my life. Yeah, me and Nate.
Oh, that story.
I've been through a robbery attack. Me, my mom, and my elder brother, who were almost killed when I was in school, secondary school. I've had a kidney infection when I took a fake anti-malaria drug that put me in the hospital for a long time. I almost lost my life. Yeah. So I've seen things. I've seen things. I've seen a lot of things happen, and I've come to the realization that there's definitely a supreme being, for sure.
Let's take a moment to pause and breathe. Relieve the tension. Whatever you're doing, close your eyes, take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose, Out through the mouth. Let's resume.
Most of that gap that people are looking to fill is that gap, but they don't know that that's what it is. Most of that gap of meaning, that is it. And the moment you truly, and you have to find it on your own. We also underrate the miracle of being alive. You will always, there's something, I think there's this saying they used to say when we were younger that a living goat is better than a dead lion. For a lot of people, yeah, they used to say it back then when we were in secondary school. They used to say that.
I never heard that shit.
Now,
Are you serious? Oh
yeah, back then when we were in secondary school, I know a lot of people like, why am I living when I'm not this? Like, there's always hope. There's always hope. That's just the truth.
That one, when there's like there's hope.
Yes,
That's just
I
the
heard
truth.
that,
There's
I heard that.
always hope. It's just because we live in an abnormal society, which is Nigeria. Abnormal society in the sense that what we are going through in this country, other people are not going through it anywhere else in the world. The pressure to make money is only in Nigeria like this. It's not
Truly.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's abnormal. It's not supposed to be the way it is. A lot of people might think that's the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way it's supposed to be. We're the only ones under the kind of pressure we are in this earth.
Constant survival mode.
And I mean, people that are not even supposed to be under that pressure are under that pressure.
Right.
We're the only ones that are influenced by that too, than anywhere else. That's why sometimes when you live abroad, you just realize that these things are not the way you think it. Life is actually very simple. And because of the system that is not thriving too, all these things come together and make for a very unusual situation.
Your brain is
We're living through a very
incomplete,
complete abnormal situation in Nigeria every day. Abnormal. Nothing that's happening in this country is actually normal.
I always say this thing that Nigeria is not real. You cannot pay me to believe that Nigeria is an actual place. I think it's a state of mind. And I think that if we all collectively decided to go to sleep and wake up without this place existing, it would cease to exist. This country cannot. I refuse to believe that this country is a real place, especially because of the way I see a lot of people here think.
We're the only ones experiencing everybody's problem at the same time. A lot of people have these things that maybe one or two has a problem, one has a problem, three has a problem, one has a problem, that kind of people. We have everybody's problem joined together in one place. Do you understand? That's why a lot of people, the attitude stinks. Where people are driving and people are insulting each other. Your security man can just be rude on you for no reason, or start being stubborn, or start feeling proud when his means of survival is you. There's a very it's just an abnormal situation. But for me, like I said, I realized that God revealing Himself to you defines that meaning. You have to keep asking questions. God has to He can't reveal everything to you at once. He has to keep revealing it to you
Over time.
as times go, because even your brain is getting more matured. You're learning more. So new information needs to keep coming in.
Yeah, you can't skip
Do
it.
you understand? Yeah. So eventually you get to a point where you now have full understanding.
Right.
And a lot of time that happens with age. You now get full understanding of life in general. You can even make it one sentence and that will define
When I look
life.
at people like him, you as well.
It's from people like you that I can learn. Because I'm following your journey. Most of the people before us, I don't know their story. It's what they decided to tell us. That's why I don't. That's why a lot of time. To be very honest, that's why a lot of time. That's why a lot of time. There are a lot of people I don't bother listening to.
Right.
Because to me, I was not there. I could not
They don't
even.
verify that.
I was not
You can't
there.
relate.
I cannot say that I even had friends that were with you at that point to know that this is what your journey truly was. I don't know. I'm witnessing your journey
Learning
now.
from your peers
I'm witnessing your
cannot
journey
be
right now.
emphasized.
I can be able to tell tomorrow that yes.
That's mad because a lot of the top guys you
Because
see.
why
they're
would
on
they
social media.
tell you what is the guarantee that they'll
So
tell
now
you
everybody's
the real-
following your story.
Yeah.
Right. But there are young people that are in our generation that you can relate to. There are some of them are 5, 7 years, 8 years older than you, that are ahead of you, that same niche of what you're doing. I'd rather listen to those kind of people than people that 25 years ago
These things are
or
obsolete.
something.
We
How
should
do you
look
want me
at
to know what you were doing
depreciation.
then? How do I trace it?
We should look at depreciation.
I
We
don't
look
even
at
know
it
where you
as
stand
something
from.
technical, but apply it to real life. After 4 years of a vehicle being on the road, it has definitely lost at least 80% of its value.
Yeah.
So if you look at somebody who has been doing this for 25 years, I mean, look at the equipment, look at what we're using to record today. This was definitely not there 20 years ago.
Oh,
So somebody who was doing this 20 years ago, you can there are certain key points you can pick which are fundamentals, like as with everything else. These fundamentals never change.
I know they are there, yes.
From those
That's what I believe. I believe the real fundamentals of life don't change.
They
I
never
believe that
change. Right
what
from
happened
Jesus
then,
Christ
right from the day one
BC,
on earth,
these
certain
remain.
things have been the same.
So
Yeah.
your duty-
No matter what technology comes up and all that, there are basic things in life that have been there from day one that you must go through.
yeah.
You must go through sadness, happiness, tears. You must go through all those emotions. It's always been there. It's always been there, right? Money has always been a factor from day one.
Yeah.
It will continue being a factor till the end of time, right? Women have always been a factor. It will always be a factor till the end of time. No, yeah, there are basic things that have always been there.
Speaking of women, that's one of the places that we have to.
Start from here.
Okay, so bro, what are these women saying to us out there? What are we seeing? What are we seeing? What are we seeing?
To us
What are we seeing, guys?
to be more prayerful.
More prayerful. The streets.
Is there anything you'd like to say? Announcements you want to make?
No,
It feel like saying that
it's full.
feel like something there. But what do we think about?
He has announcements to make. Actually, came himself.
Okay, but what do we think about the scene in Abuja when it comes to like the dating scene and like what our generation needs right now?
That's what we're enjoying, Zodara. I would like to bring great minds together. Yeah.
Is that
People
so?
that how their future looks amazing.
Is that so? I'm looking at everybody. I'm trying to figure out what the inside joke is.
So, with
The dating scene will always be controversial.
How so?
In the sense that somebody will always cry, somebody will always laugh, some people will always end up happy
Breakfast
together.
must always be served.
That's still down to fundamentals of life too.
So
It can't all be perfect, it can't all be great.
So are you guys crying or laughing?
It's not a must that two great people will end up happy.
Are you speaking for yourself?
No, I'm just saying.
There's always yin and yang.
Now, wow, when I just the enter philosophy. I'm top, bro. I'm top woman.
It is what brings that balance. I'm sure, let's be honest, a lot of us have had our fair share of experiences, good and bad. And it's what makes us who we become.
what was the
I think we attach too much. Well, let me
That's what I'm
say,
asking.
apart from people that do extreme things in terms of breaking people's heart, like maybe, I don't know, like really crazy things. I think we take a lot of things that happen with relationships too serious.
Shameless plug alert.
If you own a brand or a business, you should really consider becoming a sponsor of this podcast. It's a cool and effective way to reach new audiences. I'm always on the lookout for partnerships that would be a good fit for me and, most importantly, give value to my audience. As a sponsor, you will have access to my many creative talents. I will craft a message so sharp, one that will cut through the noise like a knife. I will make it seem like your product holds the key to eternal life itself. I will so wash you in front of my audience, authentically of course. Call it authentic wash. Bottom line is, you can never have enough brand awareness, and podcasts are a great way to build that. To discuss options, shoot me an email, avocreative.ng@gmail.com. avocreative.ng@gmail.com. Let's make magic together.
Okay,
I think too much importance
how
is
would you
put
rate the
into
scene
it.
right now? How would you
What?
rate the scene right now in terms of the dating pool, in terms of, what is out there? You're saying someone who just came into Abuja today
Yeah.
and they are trying to figure out, where to start. What are you telling them right now? What kind of woman? As a
I mean, there are a lot of great. I think there are a lot of good guys and good girls in Abuja. Contrary to what people think, I think there are.
I think they are good guys and good girls.
I think there are. Sometimes
Depends on what you're
sometimes
looking for.
people bring out the worst in you too.
What are the nuances of Abuja's dating scene? It's different from Lagos, different from Port PA, different from
To be
South
honest,
Africa.
it depends on a lot of things. Like it depends. Like obviously, so many factors play a role. Like money depends on what people are experiencing. Like money is there, the state of your mental state, all of that, and then the crowd that you're rolling with. So
Crowd.
if you're in this circle, you meet people. Most people get to meet each other. Like people who are, of a certain pedigree, I would say. They move in circles. So if you're in that circle and you find people who have, you have things you have similar traits and similar,
But then people don't like to fuck with people in their own circle. We always say, Abuja
In
is
their
so
own circle.
small, Abuja is and that.
Abuja is small. That's kind of what I was trying to allude to. The problem in Abuja is Abuja is a very small city, right? I've heard people describe it as one big secondary school. Right. So that in itself has, advantages and disadvantages. The thing is, as grown-ups, everybody's had history, right? Everyone's had their fair share of dating this person or dating this person. In a big city, you don't get to hear those stories. But in Abuja, you get to hear it very quickly. And as guys, and we're all proud, right?
Yeah.
You see a girl, you like a girl. Next thing you've heard is, oh, she's been with this guy and this guy. That just be like, hey. But it shouldn't be like that because everybody has.
Very true though.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I feel like in Abuja, that is one of the issues that we're all facing. Where before you get to know someone, you don't already hear all their story, and you're like, that discourages you. So it's hard to move past that. That is, the problem.
Especially you have people that remind you about it.
Are you shit on anybody?
No.
You said that.
Express yourself, bro. express the tea.
You say, especially if you say be the true jab at Dre.
Who? No.
My brother.
But
Another thing I find with relationships is this is not even just unique to Abuja. I think it's just a Nigerian thing. I feel like guys, we're not like our fathers. I don't think we've evolved too much from our father's times to now. A bit, yeah. But not
how so?
we're still very egotistical. We're still very, in that patriotic mindset. But girls have changed so much from their mothers. Our mothers used to tell us men are not perfect. If he goes out, he'll still come back to you. Or you have a lot of girls not ready to deal with that. I'm not saying that they should. I'm just saying that's some of the issues that we are having where girls are a lot more enlightened.
They're not taking shit.
They are not taking any man's bullshit, and they expect. And men, we're still in that phase where we have to be the man. We have to.
We're surprised
we
when
haven't
the babe stands up to
evolved.
us.
Sorry.
I said we're surprised when the babe stands up.
Exactly. So we haven't evolved to the point where I think girls have evolved a lot faster than we have. So there's this clash. There's this misunderstanding. When you meet a girl and you're trying to talk and you're expecting her to behave a certain way, she's not ready for any of that. So these are some of the issues I see. Wow.
that's part of why I said we live in a very abnormal situation in this country. It's all part of the reason why. Because some of those things are not supposed to be that way.
It's not supposed to be shit.
But we're just trapped in it, and unfortunately, it's what it is.
You guys intend to get married?
How you?
Sorry.
Shit, how far?
What's wrong with this guy?
I don't cough again. Guilty conscience is a
I could just cough at the
As
opportune moment.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, he's actually.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to
Things I'll never get married.
Some of us intend to get married more than
Things I'll never get married.
quicker than the others.
Well, we want to get married soon. Why not?
Yeah, be nice.
Okay, so there was an inside joke between the guys that I wasn't yet aware of at the time, which is why they were laughing so hysterically, because I didn't know what was up. But then I found out weeks later that IK was engaged or is engaged to be married at the time of recording, which now explains all the excitement. I saw her pictures, and let me just say, IK nabbed himself a very lovely bride. Congratulations, bro. We did your back. Let's resume.
Companionship is important.
Very important.
It's important. Yeah, nobody's an island.
Especially on this journey, if you find the right person.
Yeah, and it gets lonely on this journey
Bruh.
It gets lonely. So
Bruh, yeah, it's like ideally you want to find the right person while you're on the way, not when you get there.
Oh yeah, because that
It's
right
a lot-
person, that
it's a
right
lot
person
more
is
difficult
that.
when you're up there, of course, man. Everything seems like gold.
That right person is
Yeah.
just important, man. And it's not something
Now
to
you
rush
find
about.
that diamond in the rough, and then you both polish each other, and then get yourself.
Say polish. What polish each other?
Hey, gosh.
Oh, but yeah, like in Abuja out here, it's crazy to be honest. Yeah, because like it's a small town.
Let's move on from this dating.
I used to.
Why you're comfortable?
This is the most interesting part. I'm sure our listeners want to.
They want to know what three
what
three
IK is
eligible bachelors in
doing,
Abuja
like,
are doing. You know what we think about this, and I think it's something that I think about a lot because while you're doing your professional and your career stuff, smashing those goals, you don't want to just leave that one to chance too much. You want to be intentionally just shining your eye. You're not desperately doing whatever, but you're just shining your eye just in case. Because with our exposure and pedigree, you tend to be in circles where, like, unlike the average Abuja person, I feel like all of us here, we tend to find ourselves in different circles. You have your guys, but then you find yourself in other situations, other places.
Yeah.
So in that way, you're exposed to different kinds of, all different kinds of women, and then now it's up to you to like shine your eye and figure out, how you're going to pluck that one from this tree and come and do some horticultural shit and merge the balls from around. You know what I'm saying? Just and create something, beautiful.
Every experience in relationship is unique. Like you cannot.
Almost some people don't see it.
And it's crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like,
They'll just be like,
bring
this is what I know, or this is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to call me 3 times a day, or you're supposed to, like, by 3 months in now, you're supposed to have asked me to be your girlfriend. There's always this kind of expectations that just ruin the thing.
In like in the military, like spies, there's something they call debriefing. After like a mission, when you come back, you're debriefed. Basically, you wean yourself of those past experiences and you become fresh. Because they are different. Like if you're an undercover cop or an undercover spy, if you've experienced this, traumatic and everything, you must debrief so you're a fresh person to go on to the other. Why I'm saying this is like in relationships, it has to be that way. Regardless of the trauma. Yeah, there are things that will stay, but you also debrief yourself and understand that you're going into something new. Because a lot of times, a lot of people complain that men are scum, all this and that. But the reason is you came onto this with that same mentality and expectation from that, and you didn't allow this person to really show you who they truly were, because there were these barriers that you kept on putting up that didn't allow this person penetrate you.
Dre is preaching
So
tonight.
for me, like you have to understand that these are all individuals, and every individual has their own mentality, their own mindset. Understand, pick out the key points, take the cues, all of that, and then bring it on here. But do not allow that define the new thing that you're in. Only then can you really experience that new relationship.
The best women to like couple with are going to be, they're not going to be. So let's say you're 30 now, right? As a guy, it's very rare, very unlikely that you end up with someone who is 25 or something, because at this level now, you're thinking really maturely. You're looking at the partner to build with. And you find a lot of these ladies, they mature as, at the later stages. And what's good right now is that they're very, very, like, they take care of themselves very well. Yeah. So, a lot of them can enter those advanced ages still looking very, aging well. So I think right now at that point, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a girl who's, in her prime physically, and also entering and maturing to that stage where she can become less of a liability and more of an asset to your ministry. Yeah. I found that these younger babes, they're a lot of fun, man, a lot of fun, but they take more than they give, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is the truth.
You take more than
They're selfish at that point.
and it's a lot, they're looking for baby girl life, and you know the difference. As a guy, you know the ones.
Yeah, of course.
But if you're trying to like build something solid, the mother of your children, someone who's going to add value to all the things you're already doing and not just benefiting
Yeah.
from what you're doing. I mean,
Now let's understand that women are different from us. Now that's one thing I always
Guys.
acknowledge. Like women,
This topic go enter. You don't say you give it tomorrow.
see, women, they can multitask. They can be this, they can be this professional, and they can still be this partner, and they can still be this mother, and they can still be this sister. Like they have that ability to do all of that. And I've seen that play out a lot of times where, you know, for me, I just can't deal because I'm assuming I'm acting like, oh, I'm all busy, I'm occupied with all of these dreams and goals that I'm working on. But this girl is going out there crushing it, but she's still making time out to attend to her relationship.
Right.
And she's doing it excellently. So a lot of men think from being a man, I don't expect that if she's focused on her career, she cannot be that dedicated or committed partner or girlfriend. But they actually can. So we should allow them realize or support them in everything they want to do. Oh, you're going out there to grind, learn about what it is she's doing, chip in one or two things. Then when it comes to her being a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, allow her also do her thing. Don't think that because she's out there, she's not going to come back and deliver on all of these things. Allow her express herself and then decode all of that data from what you're experiencing from her.
let me ask you guys a very important question. Do you guys think you're able to be yourselves around these women?
Of course.
It's just that you feel that these women allow you to be yourselves, not a version of it.
No, at this point in our lives, yes.
Yeah?
Because
Yeah, of course, because there's-
so we're grown men now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing really to hide.
To hide,
I
exactly.
used to be
Yeah.
embarrassed about saying things about myself growing up, but right now I come as I am. Like if you talk to me about this thing you observe, I'm open to dialogue. Like let's talk about it. Let's treat it. Let's
I
address
don't
it.
think you should even be with any woman that makes you.
Yeah, like try to be
Not
a sense
be-
of because
yeah.
how long can you keep that up?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
an important
It's a
question.
different thing to be with someone that's trying to improve you or be a better version of yourself, or being a completely different person. If I'm with a girl or boy, like if I'm in a situation where I have to pretend to be somebody else.
I'm with a girl, but
No, I mean like in the presence. Whoa. I meant like no.
That's not.
no.
What I mean is, if I'm in a situation where I'm with, if me and Dre are friends and I feel like I have to pretend when I'm around Dre,
yes.
that friendship won't grow. Same with a relationship. If I'm with a girl that I have to pretend to be someone I'm not, that relationship
And
won't
you know
grow.
what? A lot of people appreciate you being original, being real, like acknowledging where your flaws are, but be willing to improve. I think it's that willingness that is important for you to show. Not that you're so rigid that, okay, I'm like this, I'm an asshole, and I'm going to remain. If you don't like me, then fuck off, that kind of thing. That is where the problem lies. But if you show that willingness to be better, I don't know better yet, but I am open to learning. A lot of people will accommodate you, they'll bring you on, and they'll allow you really go through that process. And then, another thing is, when you're corrected, don't be apprehensive. Don't act like, oh, who the hell are you to correct me? Listen, if it makes sense, pick up the cues, look at how you can implement that in your life and develop and grow. That is why I talk about learning. Like a lot of people do not allow them because their ego prevents them from being open to accepting new knowledge. They believe that I am 30 years old, so I'm setting my ways. Why do you want to come and bring this new ideology to me for me to pick up? But you don't know that your environment has limited you to stuff. But as you're growing, you're moving into new climes and you're picking up different experiences that you should actually imbibe that would allow you to become grander, become bigger, become more influential. So
what's the favorite thing you've enjoyed on my podcast? What do you enjoy the most? Let me even hear. I don't know about
what
you,
I
Sharon.
enjoyed the most is basically what I'm experiencing now. I didn't know it was. I thought it was just a perception, but to be honest, the originality, the being down to earth, actually being able to have this conversation. Because normally I'm a shy guy,
Right.
and I will never be comfortable in front of the camera. But I guess I am so
Podcast has that thing of bringing.
I actually do not remember that this is being recorded. It's a good conversation. Like you're working, but I don't even
sense it. You make me feel so comfortable.
Right, man. Yeah.
And make me so that I am actually willing to open up. Like, a lot of things
Express.
I'm saying, I'm like, whoa, I actually know this shit. Like that.
Oh, man, that's
and I think that's what I appreciate. Because when I listen to a lot of when I listen to a lot of things that you put from people, and I'm like, how is he able to get this thing out of these people? But I guess you ask the right questions.
Right,
I really
right.
appreciate that about what you do. To be honest.
That's what's up, man. And then that's why we know that there's actionable evidence that when owners such as yourself, founders, movers and shakers come out and speak openly about certain things, people connect and they want to support, they want to, you know, they want to meet the guys that have moved them in this way. And it's a beautiful
Another
thing.
point I want to add, we should actually move away from trying to be perfect. I think the reason a lot of people do not start is because they do not feel they have it all figured out. Zodara started in the weirdest of ways. We never thought that we would get to this point. And to be honest, even at this point, it's unbelievable. I mean, we started as an e-commerce brand. Just like he said, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We thought it made sense to start out a business. And everything that we've learned by doing. And we keep learning every single day because even today, something new was learned. So a lot of people need to just take action, go out there, whatever it is, everything can be done, everything can be learned. That's why I still emphasize learning. Like, get on it, learn, pick up the cues, look at people that are doing it, learn from other people's experiences. You know, they say experience is the best teacher, but I always, my own version is other people's experiences are the best teacher because learn from others. They've done it, they've failed. Reading books are so important because it is 25 years of experience.
Too much.
You know, cramped into like 300 pages where you can see this is what I did, this is what I didn't do, these are the relationships I made, these are the steps I took. So people need to take action and learn every single time. That's small nuggets.
Your sign out.
My small nuggets.
How about you? What do you want to say, Chinedu? What do you want to tell these people?
My sign out.
Come to Laguru. We'll cut sense into your head.
Man, see, let me tell
Bob
you.
sense.
A Laguru haircut will change your life.
Change your life.
Hey, tell them.
Go get a Laguru.
On the most,
Tell
on the
them.
most serious note, I think. What would my summary be about? I feel like I saw Charles of Play post something recently that there are stages in entrepreneurship that we need to normalize, where failing, getting into bed, not physical bed, getting to bed with the wrong partner, trying as hard as possible and everything just going to shit. Just understanding that all of this is part of the journey. Like, I used to hate all of these phases, and I'm still in some of these phases now where I'm like, oh, man, I'm trying, and this isn't
I
working.
like that you said that because it doesn't ever stop.
It doesn't ever stop.
That's because your eyes, people that you look up to, Obi Kubana, them guys, all of this, Jeff Bezos. I mean, he just came out of a divorce. Like, dude, he's the richest man in the world, and he's divorcing. He's having to split his, all of these things. Think about the effect. He's a human being. Like, we have to humanize these people.
Right.
These people are like human.
He has to deal with that divorce.
He has to deal with this. But he's still fucking in space, like, what, 2 days ago? Like, so how is he able to compartmentalize and be able to do all of this? It comes with training.
Yeah, and people will make it, they'll oversimplify it and say, no be billionaire, he's supposed to be, but no, it's not even about that. Like, you can have billions and still be unable to deal on a human level.
Yeah. So in summary, like, it's all a journey. So enjoy every step of the journey as you
Straight up, man.
Life.
Man, I mean, how about you, man? What's your sign off? And what are you telling these people one time on the Young God podcast? You've been waiting your whole life to be on the guy. Your whole life looking forward to this. You're here. You're here. Tell these people something.
I think it's
makes
just
sense to you, yeah.
I mean, I'm a businessman. It's my business that I'm going to sign out.
Yeah.
Reopening soon.
We're trying to create a better experience than the last time.
Yeah.
We want people to be happier. We want to create a different kind of ambience, and that's what we're going to work. That's what is already going to be there right now. It's going to be something that it will be worth the wait. That's it will definitely be worth the wait, man. It's going to be different. It's going to be bigger and better. And we're going to put out the date soon. We're going to conquer it. That's what I said. We're going to conquer it. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So you guys, you heard it here first.
We're going to come correct.
Hey, and there you have it. IK Zodara, Dre Zodara, Chinedu Laguru. Y'all have been gracious. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the drink, for the Glenfiddich.
Zodara is coming soon, though.
Always pleasure. This has been the best conversation in front of the camera I've ever had.
Shit.
Thank you to the young,
Thank you to the young God, actually, because
Amazing.
brilliant
best
mind.
in the city. You know, arguably the best in the country.
No, it's the
You
best
guys
podcast,
should
though.
subscribe. Recommend it to your friends. If you're gonna gift anybody any present, don't buy them flowers. Don't buy them cakes. Get them to download
The young God.
all episodes of the Young God Pod.
Let's say
Definitely.
I missed out
they
for
will
this
kick
claim. I
some-
didn't want to level.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
Do follow the podcast on IG at The Young God Pod and Twitter at I Am The Young God for more God level content. New episodes drop every Saturday at midnight, so do subscribe and do share. I'm your host, Rodney, and I wish you a blessed day and a blessed mind. Rodney, out.